What's up? I hope y'all are here. I know it took forever, huh? Hey, Jeannie Marie, how are you? I saw your comments under Troy Abel's video, and I was like, "You go, girl! You go, girl! You were hammering them out." I was just like, "All right, so cool." What are y'all doing? I forced myself to come on because I've been in a rut, a really bad one. I had a hair in my mouth. No cats, no dogs. It's my hair, you know. Anyways, I was just coming to shoot the shit really, and I don't know, try and get my head out of this, whatever this is. I don't know what it is. So, yeah, I've been trying to like dig in or find. I don't know where to dig in. I feel like I'm out of my element, and I don't know how to explain that. It's a rut. It's the first time I've ever felt like this in 5 years. Yeah, in 5 years. It's crazy. Hey guys. Hey, I know I miss them too. I do. I miss them too. I see you guys everywhere though, and I love it. I love seeing Jeannie Marie's comments under Troy Abel's videos. They were pretty good. Or video, yeah, that one today for sure. That was stupid. That was stupid. Can we just say that? I'm like, I feel sorry for him, and then I'm just like, he is ignorant as the day is long. And I mean, I'm like, "Ca can you just step back a little bit and just glare into your it's not a left or a right issue. It's not political. Stop politicizing it, you know?" It's like anyways, how are y'all? I have missed y'all something dearly. I swear, I don't know. That's why I was like, well, I just need to go live and chat with them, with you guys, and try and find, my way this way. I don't know how else to do it. I don't know what I'm doing, Just a lot going on as far I guess I don't know. I wish I knew what it was. Processing. Um, I don't know. I hope you guys are doing better than me. At least. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys have gone and because I've seen you guys in different comments sections and, you know, but a lot has happened. A lot and then not much, if that makes any sense, you know? Huggy Bear. Where did I see you at? I don't remember. It was under one of it was I don't know. I see you everywhere too. Hey, Danny Mitchell, how are you? Nights with Ping. Was worried that the weather got you. Oh, Nights with Ping's here. Hey, Ping, if you're here, how are you? I'm pretty boring. I really don't even know what to do. I've just been like, no, I lie. I mean, quite a bit has happened. One of the, how do I phrase this? One of Tim Ballard's alleged victims reached out to me, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, yay, I'm glad. So I'm doing what I can to aid in that area. Uh, yeah. Anyway, so I just think that when we bond together, when we stand together, we there's power in numbers, and that's what you have to do with somebody like. Uh, oh, I know. I do see that by Felicia. I did one day. I just, oh my God, that's what I used to do in the beginning of this was the comment sections everywhere. I mean, I was that's where it's at. That's where the discussion's at. That's where I have learned so many things. And so I don't know. I just happened upon. I don't ever go on Instagram, but just one day I wound up there, and I saw his post or whatever, and he was just poor mouthing. It was a video of Catherine, and uh, they cry on demand, the COD, right? Cry on demand, and it's sick. It's sick, and so I did. I finally, yeah, and I mean, I'm being honest. Whenever I question whether Tim Ballard was in town the same weekend that Tylee was murdered, I think it's a fair, open, honest question, especially whenever Chad's book company sponsored the damn run. I think that is significant, big time. So I remember I respectfully shit post. I know I did. I do. That's something I was trying to think of where I saw it, but it might have been, I don't know. I rarely do the comment sections now. Well, no, I don't know. I don't know. I've been a lost little puppy. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. But I sure have missed you guys. Um, I mean, I have been making stuff like this, so my time has not gone wasted. you know. Oh my god, right? It's nasty. But that's what he thinks he is, right? And then this one. I mean, you just can't. Just I need to put Tom Harrison in there, and, you know, I'll put him up there as a cherub angel or something. Mm-mm-mm. Alright? So that's what I've been doing. Little stuff like that. It makes me smile. It makes me laugh, and these guys are so deplorable that there's a yeah, I just have to laugh at them because they suck. Really, they're missing it as people. Yeah, totally. I don't know why I clicked on it. I'm sorry. Yeah, nobody needs to see all that. Just saying. Tim is still behaving like a cult leader. That's what I always said. If there ever was a cult leader in this story, and I'm talking about Chad, Lori, this my family story, it is Tim freaking Ballard, okay? You screenshot it. Yes, share away. Here, I'll put them back up. There's this one, and oh, I just hit my microphone. And then there's this one. Oh, it looked like his fingers got cut off, but that's okay. They probably, that person probably treaded or yeah on Tim, so he chopped his fingers off. Because he is a very very mentally, in my opinion, unstable person. I'm just like, you never know what you're gonna get. It's like what you're rolling the dice, and are we gonna get the love bombing Tim today, or are we gonna get gaslit? What are we doing? What are we doing today? Character assassination? I'm just like, great. The more I speak out, I mean, I sit there and weigh out, is it worth it? I'm open about everything, but I guess it's something more about like the public humiliation. I don't know what it is, but anyway, I'm not worried. I'm just saying that's shitty when you go to the lows of character assassinating, which is something that Joseph Smith did, by the way, a lot. I learned that whenever I was watching a video series on an ex-Mormon Foundation channel, I think it's called. Don't remember. And it was Lying for the Lord. And I learned so much just from those 10 videos. I was like, oh my God, that checks out. That checks out. Hey G, how are you been? I love that I was offered top fan badge on Tim Miller's page of all my engagement. Oh Lord. Hey. That's about all you'll get from Tim. That I mean, just the poor mouth, like, he acts as though, which is kind of proving our points. "Hey, it's just Robbie, how are you? Miss you." But it's proven our points as far as if it's a nonprofit organization, okay, then, you know, You shouldn't it's not to be depended on for a freaking salary, I don't think. That's how I look at it. I know that he got salaries, a very hefty salary, and he sits on the board of many other NPOs where he also gets paid top dollar, 800,000, just so and oh my god, it's horrible. So he's just like, "They're taking from my family," and I'm like, "Aren't you the same family that was like," I heard through the grapevine, whatever, on the in the Mormon streets that he was like they were poor mouthing and panhandling, basically not panhandling, but poor mouthing about their kids needed a pool or something. So what? Get out of here. That's first world problems. Sit down. you know? God. S- Stop giving out second anointings, okay? You see what this shit causes? All right. I did. I did. I watched it yesterday. Um, it was like 2 hours it had been out, and I was like, "Well, son of a bitch." I didn't know anything about it. I think that's what it is too, Lori. I do. What I do wanna ask Ryan about is the other psychic too that just gets glossed over. There was another one named Lori, that's what just reminded me of it. There was Lori, and then there was Janet. I'll just say is because there's no past there. There's no severing of relationships. Okay, Kay Layla says nonprofit have let me turn. Nonprofits have some salary employees, but they're supposed to spend the majority of the money they take in on the public good. That's why they're not taxed. Girl, I looked at his taxes or mm, what is it? The 990, 1099. What is it called? Oh my god, that thing. I looked at him, and I mean, just his merch. I'm like, Jesus, it's like a quarter of $1 million. Like, damn, I'm in the wrong. I don't know how to do this. I'm not Ken Krogue on a flipping whiteboard. Okay, just jazzing it out. Like, okay, we're gonna do this, and it's like a damn Hail Mary football. Game plan. It's a game plan, and that's exactly what it is. 10,990. Thank you. Oh man. And yes, they use nonprofit. That's what veered me away. It spooked me because I was looking into starting a nonprofit, you know, and Jen even sent me a book on it and everything. And I mean, I was trying to, how I orbit with my research and everything. So I didn't have enough time to like focus on it. And I just really wanted to focus on it. But yet everybody starts one at Tammy's family, just went up. I'm like, God dang. I'm still sitting over here, like, scratching my head, trying to figure it out, like, how it even goes, how it goes in my mind, but, I don't think it's a mistake, you know? There's a lot of people that abuse these nonprofits, in my opinion, a lot. Yes, yeah, I said it, yeah. We said the same thing, Kayla, basically. That's what it is, and so it spooked me, and I was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna wait on that." And then I remember one of my subscribers had left this during, I wanna say the trial, Chad's trial, about and I don't remember who it was, but about starting what is it called? A education fund or, what's it called? Hell. No, I don't know. Y'all help me. I feel like I need to phone a friend. Um, a scholarship fund. I got it. I did it. I don't think so, Lori C, but I really think it's a group thing. I really do. There's just too many things, in my opinion, that are lacking. Lack of her entire body. Her remains aren't together, Tylee. Where are the rest of her remains? That's weird, and that's not right. Um, I don't think that the murder at least I really don't think that her murder took place in Lori's apartment or anybody's apartment. she was dismembered. And if it happened at Chad Daybell's in the shop area, like a lot of people like to say, then why only have just a little bit of her DNA on a pickaxe? Where is the evidence? Where's the crime scene? Why are these 2 organizations showing up on the same weekends that both of my family members are murdered? Okay. That's what I'm saying. It's sus and it stinks to me. And I'm not crazy. I've done my research. I still will. I will continue to do my research because I hope I'm not right. I don't wanna be right. That's just it, I don't wanna be right, but this is my I can't not. I can't just settle for that. My body won't let me. It's like, no. Like, I'll think about it for a second, and I'm like, bullshit." I can't. I can't. It would be a freaking mess. There would be a crime scene. Crime scene, I could see how JJ was handled. Maybe. I still think that's kinda messy. Killing anybody, it's not pretty. But it doesn't make sense to me. And the way these like-minded people move around and they huddle up at all these conferences and stuff. I'm not saying everybody, but I'm just saying I suspect that that's a cover. Just saying. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. But that's where that's been from day one. I'm just like too many things. Too many things. Actually, trying to remember. I remember running across some screenshots I had of Jason Mao and his wife Nikki Wood, last name Wood, Rob Wood, Nikki Wood. I don't know. And anyways, and I want to say she checked in, like it was her Facebook or something. I'm just trying to think. I don't have it together, so I don't really even remember how to tell you but it just kind of popped up in my head when we were saying that because I thought about Jason Mel saying checking into Billings, Montana, the weekend that JJ was murdered, which was like, I want to say 5 hours away. But whenever you go and you look at all the things from that alleged event that Jason Mao and a magician of all fucking things, a magician named Richard. Let me not get them mixed up because I do all the time. There's Richard Young, not Roger Young of AVAL, Richard Young. And anyways, he's from Canada, but they allegedly claim via checking in on Facebook and all that they went to a singles ward event to speak. But when you look at the flyers, there are mistakes, days missed. It's very basic. It's like, it's like a generic fill in the blank, like the schedule's already filled out. There's not compared to all the other ones, like all the other flyers from Preparing People, Firm Foundation, they are busy as all get out. I'm just like, oh my God, there's so much stuff on this page. Oh my God, I've looked over them so many times over the years, and I'm just like, oh, they're busy. They like to say everything, it's just like their resumes. Check out their resumes or their LinkedIns, and they're like, pop, 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 pop. I'm like, good Lord, fluff much? You know? We need to sync up offline. I know. Oh, I need yours too. I do. Same to you, Unfiltered. Same to you. But the flyers, to me, it just seems convenient. I think I would challenge Jason Mao. I would challenge his location at the time of JJ's murder. I would, if I could. How do you think the Melanie Zalema and the whole Cox family, the Preparing People and Aval crowd, the Hawaiian crew, and so many more because it's who you know. That, and I mean, whenever you're convicted, I'm thinking as an attorney, I'm not one, but going through this process, their only job, their only goal is to nail a conviction. They want to convict. They got the two main people, right? Alex was dead. So they got the two main people. It makes the public happy. Everybody just shuts down because they're like, oh, justice is served. All right, move on. And I'm just like, what about the rest of them? Been saying that since the beginning. And I mean, so I get it, but then I really don't get it. Yeah, bloodlines. There you go. Totally. Oh, I just got who you were, Unfiltered Rice podcast. I just got it. I'm like, bloodlines. And I started thinking, yeah. Hey, girl. Oh, yeah. That's terrible. I've seen some well, I saw your Twitter. I don't even know what to call it. What, a tag? I don't talk Twitter or X, thank God. If they were being prosecuted, they would have invoked their Fifth Amendment right. I'm trying to figure that out in the grand scale. Like, because each trial would have been separately? I mean, even if they wouldn't have gotten charged with murder, just obstruction. There's all kinds of other things to charge, There's so many things to charge. Make them pick up trash. Make them be held accountable for one goddamn thing in their life. It will do them a favor. It will do them a favor, and it will actually humble them. So it'll humble them. They are not humbling people. They are unhumbleable. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not they think that they are all righteous and right, and they did nothing wrong. It's just Chad and Lori, and the whole world goes with this whole narrative because everybody who talks about this case distances the flippin' church from Chad and Lori. It's very much mainstream, but there is this undercurrent or shadow government, shadow church going on along that this shit is allowed. And I think that's what happened. I really do. If you want to know my true feelings, I think that, just like the church works behind the scenes and uses like Fair Mormon. They use other entities, other organizations to do their bidding, and then they can be not liable, which is, I mean, it's very intelligent, it's very smart, but it's not right. Yeah. Just hang in there, Robbie. I think it's just, a lot of people are suffering right now, I do believe. Shell companies, there you go. It is. It's organized crime mob, straight up. I'm right there with you. And it's been, you know, and I mean, I do read different comments from all over the place. I mean, over blogs, Mormon blogs. I've read so much Mormon content. I'm probably a Mormon now. So I need my underwear. Just kidding. I'm lying. You have the right to come smack the shit out of me if I ever. Okay. I've told this to Jason already. He's Mormon, I swear. I'll walk in there sometimes and Mormon Stories podcast, whatever's playing, and he's like, "No, no, no, Joseph Smith was da da da." I'm just like, "What? What did I do to my family?" And it's Lori and Chad's fault. So it is what it is. Anyways, that's crazy, huh? Damn you, Lori. Damn you, Lori. I really look. So, oh yeah, and I ran across the documents for Kurt McConkie, and I'm like, oh my god. I remember when this whole ordeal happened when they entered how I think that they drove this narrative to an extent. They flexed their muscles in Lori and Chad's case. Oops. In my opinion, with the whole Lori being assigned homework from the mental health, what is it called? Technician? Her mental health technician. I mean, and I think that, Heidi, you work in, oh yeah, I want to ask you this. Oh my God, I do. So so you're an ex-Mormon, and I think you said you worked in mental health care. I don't know. Riddle me this. Okay. So October 5th, 2021, there was a hearing for Chad. Okay. Lori was allegedly incompetent. So she had been in the mental psych ward. Okay. Allegedly getting her competence back. I don't think she ever lost it, but that's me. Um, so on October 5th, 2021, while she is in said mental health facility in Idaho, Blackfoot, she claims that her mental health technician, Natalie something, I don't remember her last name right now, had like they were watching Chad's hearing via Zoom. He was via Zoom. We were watching. It was the first time I actually ever went live. So that's kind of crazy. That's why I remember the date. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. So that went live, and Lori's allegedly watching it, watching Chad. And then somehow the mental health technician assigns homework to Lori, uh, allegedly telling her that she maybe needs to go hunting or looking or searching for a different counsel. Okay. So Lori, and I mean, you have to keep in mind the 1-800 helpline. Okay. And how that all works. I'm just saying. And so Lori allegedly calls. Well, no, she did, because Kurt McConkie made a statement. Okay. I actually ran across that again. And so Lori calls 1-800-LDS helpline. Beep, boop, boop. And he's like, she don't get, like the receptionist or, the people that go and volunteer their time to go and answer those phones, thinking they're doing it for the good, but they're really just helping the church snowball everybody. Yeah, you need to, Robbie. That's the best way. It's a good way to document it too. But so all this is going on, right? And so she gets Daniel McConkie, not Herb or Sally or Timmy. Well, I said Timmy, my bad. You know what I mean? She gets Daniel McConkie. And so he talks to her, but says that they didn't elaborate with her case. And then this is where I really want to do a deep dive into this, because there's something amiss here. And I don't know if it's just because of how the timeline is maybe screwed up in my head or what. That sucks. It does, but you can do it. Sometimes leaving you with $0 builds you up a lot faster. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. But, Robbie, it may just be, I know it sucks, and I don't want to be the one to be like, well, God opens up another door, but sometimes these things happen and it actually ends up being a big favor to you. It just sucks in the meantime. I'm sorry you're going through that. Shitty people out there, dude. It sucks. It really does. Yeah. So yeah, with Lori, and so she calls Daniel McConkie, and then he claims to have called Lori, the prosecutor, Rob Wood, and who was a bishop in the church, by the way. And then he also called Archibald, but he never called Mark Means, and Mark Means was actually assigned to her case at that time. Was not qualified, however, and he did end up getting disqualified. Or was it, or did they disqualify him? Or did they just gag him? Because I know they put him under gag for sure. And I mean, I don't know if that was just like a shut up because, he was trying to subpoena Melanie Gibb. He was trying to subpoena all these a-holes, okay? And I'm just like, And who I want to know, out of all the people that have called the helpline, how many of you, if you ever find your way here, how many of you have ever called the helpline for LDS helpline? How many of you have gotten Daniel McConkey or anybody of significance for that fact? I don't know. I hate being suspicious. Okay. It really does suck. It really does. Yeah, Lori, I do believe that too. So under investigation. Yes, totally. Totally. Mm-mm. I don't know. I don't trust these people. I don't, I don't, none have even said sorry or how can I help? I mean, there's Melanie Gibb. I remember she went up to my mom and my dad at after she testified in Chad's trial, pre-trial, preliminary hearing, and I remember seeing pictures of her sitting and laughing behind my mom. I was like, "Get the fuck away from my mom," you know? Like, "Oh my god." Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go. Macar I don't know how to say that. Macaron? Macaroon? Cricket? I should call you Cricket. Yeah. Well, no, a lot of I mean, but it's a little the helpline is it's a little bit misleading because people can I mean, like, I thought and I'm not a Mormon, but from the outside looking in, when I actually first saw that the church had a helpline, I was like, "Oh, wow, good." I mean, I remember thinking that and feeling that, and I was just like, "Huh, hey, Trace. Oh, Andretti's cool. Macaron?" I don't remember what I said. I think I said macaron. Macaron. Yeah, yeah. Lack of accountability. You end up you end up with people like Chad. You end up with people like Tim and Jody and Ruby, and everybody's just going unchecked. And echo chamber is so loud for them. It has to be. And I kind of realized a lot more of that whenever Ryan Fisher was on with Hidden True Crime. And I was just like, wow, I can see that he's what do you call that? Not room is it ruminating? Or um kind of like OCD, but and I've even had this too, like where something will get stuck in my head and then I'll just sit there and repeat it and repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. I remember that happening to me once for sure when I was like 12 and I was with my grandma and we were traveling to South Carolina to go see my dad. So, I was just like, oh my God, I can't get this out of my head. What is that called? Anyways, but I kind of envisioned that um, earlier yesterday when I was watching the Hidden True Crime, Ryan Fisher. 2-story indoor go-karts. Did you wreck? I know, Huggy Bear, me too. I was too. And it's about damn time. Look how long it has taken. This man is protected. And then to find out that possibly, I'm not going to say for sure because I don't know, but it does not surprise me. It does not surprise me if Elder Oaks is also, you know, a just, I'm just saying. I kind of feel after Lauren brought back the whole thing with Heather Daybell, and her interview with Heather Daybell, and how Heather said that Chad had told them that an elder in the church or whatever knew what Chad was doing. And I believe him. I do, because it's shitty and shady, and nothing will lead back to them for sure. Because you have a whole army of soldiers basically, who just cannot get the concept that they're men, and they are just men, just like the Pope, just like me, you. I'm not a man, but you know what I mean. We're people, and it's the arm of the flesh. Uh, yeah, don't trust it. They tell you not to, and there they are, and just never question anything. And it's sad. It really is. It's sad and it's frustrating all at the same time. Yeah. Yeah. No shit, huh, Kaylee? Oh my god. Good point. I gotta put that. I find it odd that their psychics are women, considering the structure of the church hierarchy. Badoom, psh, right? That is the comment of the year. You get a free 23andMe kit. Just kidding. No, those are from 2020, and all this stuff happened right around that time. And then I started learning about DNA and genealogy, and I was like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not gonna send mine. I don't want my DNA to go into that vault in that mountain. Keep it. I'm sure they have it, but hey, I'm sure Lori done baptized all of us, and I would so go and kick her ass if I ever found that out. I swear to God. Had to ruminate over it and over it and over it. That poor little girl thought the old lady was going to beat her up. I was like, no tolerance for threatening kids. Who is it? What, who are you talking about? Maybe he'll tell you you're Mormon. Oh, Lord. I mean, I would love to know, but I'm just like, I have two of them. I was like, you know. Anyways, that was a 2020. Bye. Read my I was like, "Read my precious." I'm like, my uncle Alvin used to call me Precious. He never would say my name, Kresha. He would call me Precious. And then I know that movie came out, and I was like, "Oh my god." I mean, he died without ever saying Kresha. I would get so pissed. Let's see. I'm going back. I'm looking for it. I did that last night. Some old lady threatened to beat up these two 9-year-old girls, and you. We were at the state fair, got state police involved, removed her from the demolition derby. Girl, you are on a roll. Right? Just saying. It's just standing your ground, not letting people mow over you. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. People, they're boundary crossers. I'm proud of you. You go, girl. You grow, girl. Pot, you little pot stirrer, or like Robbie says, a bus flipper. I freaking laugh about that. He's like, oh, screw a pot stirrer. He's like, we're a bus flipper. And I'm like, I'm down. I am so down. Right? You guys are the best. Your Cajun dad won't take the test either because he is scared of what it will show. I'm coon ass too. What the hell? You know, I mean, I know that we kind of, at least Louisiana people, we came down from Acadian, Canada, French, Canada. Well, I mean, according to Chad Daybell, Charles was 1700s France. So, I mean, he's my uncle. I can only assume that half of me, or a portion of me, comes from there. We're mutts, straight up. Embrace it. Yes, yeah. But, I still, this is just me. I still feel like the church is very well aware of what Tom does, and they allow it to happen because they too are backing it. Or they wouldn't be involved in, there's 3 general authorities that, uh, what the word? Oh my god. that helped finance slave stealers. They kicked in on it, allegedly. And I'm just like, okay. And then I think about that zombie letter where Chad allegedly, even though it was David and Melanie that wrote the damn thing, Ballard and Renlund are zombies. So Renlund, I mean, he also, is involved in slave stealers for sure, allegedly. Yeah. Mhm. I know, I know. What's crazy is I was looking at, some Latter-day Saint sites, used to I couldn't find any stories, or people writing talking I couldn't find people talking about it if they were in the church. Nobody was talking about Lori and Chad, and it frustrated me so bad. And that's why I guess, still, even as much as I would be in Mormon Stories podcast, we've watched it so much. We've watched so many of them over and over again. They just automatically play. We're like, "Hey, John," you know? And I mean, again, so much so to where Jason is answering things and or saying, "Hey, you know what? While you were out, whatever, this was playing on Mormon Stories or whatever show," and then he tells me, I'm just like, "Good Lord, oh my God, my poor baby, I've corrupted his mind." You think the church really? You think the church is scared of Tom? Why? What's also interesting is whenever I was listening to Lynn Packer, all his op-eds on Operation Underground Railroad and the whole crew, basically. But I remember him saying, and I mean, you kind of have to fill in the blanks a little bit. And I mean, I also I've listened to Go L, who also they get research from one another. Okay. And so I'm not gonna say they're like aligned or anything. I'm just saying, you know, in a community and you're everybody's looking for information, everybody's sharing information. That's the cool part about it. But whenever there was, and I forget which one it was, it might have been the op-ed 23, maybe, where Lynn Packer says that he, had to testify or something. He had to do something oh my God, now I'm going to screw it all up. For Gordon Bowen and his divorce from Barbara Timothy. Lynn Packer was there. He said in his report, he said that they asked everybody to sign NDAs. He said, I did not. This is what's basing, this whole report. This is why all this info is coming from that and is basing, his report. So I was just like, okay. And so he also says that I forget where I saw it. Damn. But basically Tom Harrison testified against, like, as an expert witness in Barbara Timothy and Gordon Bowen's divorce. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out the dynamics of everybody. Okay, because listening to another guy that you guys have, maybe noticed over the time is someone named LDS Abuse, Justin. Okay, well, he appeared on Occult Rejects podcast. There's like 3. I want to share them with you because I think you need to go see them. Let me grab it real quick. I think that's it. I'm gonna have to come back over here and fix. Okay, there it goes. So, I don't know. I just kind of threw these on there. Did I even put it on here? Let's see. No. I said Troy did what? What an ass, right? Okay, let me think about what I was doing. Occult Rejects. Okay. Oh, I know what I did. It's on another Canva thing. That's what it was. All right. Let me yeah. Let me stop doing that. Hey. Man, did I give that man yeah, you did, girl. I was like, oh my God. I'm just saying, I'm so proud. Here, you get some free 23andMe kits. Do Tim and I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Because, okay, whenever Janet Russin, all that stuff came out with the Blaze article, and, I was doing a live stream with you guys about it. It was like 3 hours long. And I remember I was going to show you guys about how I'd found Ken Krogue's playlist, like on YouTube, his own YouTube, Ken Krogue channel, and how he had a whole playlist of my family's case, Lori and Chad. And I was just like, interesting. A little freaking weird. I mean, people are like, well, everybody follows it. Do they? You know? And then, so I was going to show y'all that. And then, I mean, live, I was like, oh, and I was like, oh my God. And it was a playlist of Gordon Bowen too. And I'm like, you can't make this shit up. Okay. Plus he's Tim Ballard's, but basically point person, he hold on. I feel handicapped right now. Hold on. No, I'm coming. Oh, no, get me out of full screen. I hate when it does that. I don't know it does it. Hold on. Let's see. My lips are so dry. A big group on LinkedIn of just inside salespeople, which I want. I gotta fix the volume. I started following her, and the acronym is look, listen, like, love, and this is what your staff does. You have to do it with them about once a month for an hour or two, so that they see what you would write. Does that make sense? Because their job is to mimic and become you. On steroids. I've got about 7 people who run my infrastructure as if it's me, but it's my words, and I always synchronize so that they say it the way I would say it. And if there's some student who wants to do a story about me, this is what I would say, and then from then on, they know what to say to a student and what they say to a decision maker. So, you look at what she's doing, you listen to her conversation. Press the like button, you make comments. Okay. And I want to know, have you done this with Milton Adams? You haven't done this with Milton Adams. Wow. Back that down a little bit. So
Ken, real quick, on the semicircle of
this,
yes,
these are your top
in the space, right?
In the space that are somewhat relevant.
So in the top 50, so for us, it's trafficking.
Yeah,
space.
Trafficking.
So plus you have the other group of influencers that are just Lindsay.
So what we do tonight now is we start tactically. Let's name them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's name them. You're a universal. You have tapped the biggest river of need of all, in my opinion, which is parent for their kid. Who doesn't feel that? What do you say? We can go for the big. You have tapped the biggest river of need of all, in my opinion, which is parent for their kid. Who doesn't feel that? Care churchy. We can go for the big dog. We can go for Oprah. Oprah's #1. And then we go for all the late talk shows, And we get a cycle of about once a year. And you host a rescue report on the Tonight Show. You come in and you give them a few, you let them know, guys, we're not doing a rescue report this week. We're going to do it live on Tonight Show. Tune in there. Okay, we're doing your whole audience to them. So you've given back to the shark. They give all your audience to you. Especially if you can have a little call to action. Something cool. Now, don't forget, guys, go out there right now and you can download the little 10 points on what you can do in your local community. But you got to give us your email address. Boom. Now you've just taken yours up to 2.7 million in one fell swoop. And then we get you on YouTubers. What Troy Abel. Facebook 3, 4, 500.
Yeah, what's the latest number? 400,000.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's right under 4.
Yeah.
And then, a lot of people there.
That's Facebook.
Then Instagram and Twitter. And
I
Instagram's 14,000.
She must be zoomed in or something.
Is this making sense, Todd? Yeah, I'm trying to think through translating it. Yeah, crazy content. I'm trying to think of the next step. The next step, sequential steps, is you're blowing my mind. Monetization devices.
So that's right where the Boy Scouts are.
And you've got
Leave the Boy Scouts alone.
you've got the video.
We have video, we have TV series, we got people subscribe monthly to the TV series, they could download.
It's not about rescuing effing children. It's about we got this and that and this.
What
For
always
us,
trade
email
for
address.
exactly. But maybe what you do, I don't know. That's something you want to test. Right now, that is the coolest monetization piece I can think of.
We have 7 TV series. That's an asset.
Yeah.
We've got any new thing you could do every week. That's an asset. The rescue report. Then we got a movie that really turns people. It really melts their heart.
Well,
That's an
I've
asset.
watched, again, creative plagiarism.
Yeah.
I watched the way the movie theaters do it.
Yeah.
And they monetize it first before they give it away.
Yes.
So they drive it through the theaters, then they drive it through the DVDs, and then drive it through the Netflix. Then they give you free stuff from it.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I would say, let's go. The problem is you don't have a massive database yet, so it won't monetize as well.
Right.
But you'll still
You
monetize.
could drive people to download the video.
Yeah.
Or does it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
3
This,
years.
this is not about rescuing children. This is 2 hours and 13 minutes of this. That's just this one. That's not the 2019 one. And this is nasty. Like just hearing that little bit. I mean, and that's how it is the entire time. It's not about rescuing children, strategizing about the couple's ruse or whatever the hell. It's about making money, building up fame, money, power, and sex. Right? Right. That's nuts. Whoo, y'all. I mean, just I'm telling you that a little bit right there. Oops, sorry. I'm trying to figure out my layouts now. They're different. Try. Sorry, I'm just gonna move around a little bit. Nope, that's not working. That's way too big. We'll go there. Yeah, basically an influencer. 0. Yeah, bing, 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 bing. Yeah, that's just it. Money, money, money. So I mean, I don't know I guess the interesting or I would say the interesting aspect of the 2019 whiteboard prophecy is that Tim allegedly drew, how it's going to all funnel into timballard.com. And I mean, this is before 2019. This is 2016. And the game plan, strategizing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with strategizing. I'm like, damn, I need to take some damn lessons right here. However, given the context, it is horrible because nothing is about saving children, rescuing women and children, men, all the things that Tim claims to do. Nothing. And this is behind the scenes. So we know what we see in front of our faces whenever he is putting on, so to speak, whenever he is, performing, acting, I'd say, in my opinion. And that's his game. This is his game. And we're all everybody's pawns in it. That's all, in my opinion. And so whenever you're backed with people like Tom Harrison, when you have people in your ear being, saying and giving you priesthood blessings and telling you that you are going to be the next Mormon prophet, you're going to be the next president of the future president of the United States. Well, that creates a conflict with church and state anyway. So there's that, or unless he's Antichrist, right? Just saying. But this becomes a huge issue, especially whenever there are general authorities. There's allegedly general authorities have invested money in slave stealers, which is one of the entities. I mean, and I already know that. I know that. You know that. People who follow this, just like the comments were telling Troy's comments to you, Jeannie. Did you watch my video about Ryan Fisher? And I was like, she could spit this case out to you like none other. Okay, shut up. Like, oh my God, sit down, dude. That dude is off his rocker. Yeah, where is God's nowhere to be found, boo. Not until they need to invoke his name to use it to guilt trip somebody. Have you noticed? I have. Just like, the other day, whenever Tim was on Troy Abel's podcast, I want to say it was the first day after, well, I don't remember. I don't remember exactly which day this was because you get a different Tim every time. He's got a new mask on. You're like, who are we going to get today? Right. Well, he was just acting all like justified, vindicated because he's claiming that, Kelly Suarez is convicted over there in Colombia. If we don't know, everybody's got to take Tim's word for it. But I mean, that's bullshit. So, and he's not, that's just wrong. These people will stop at nothing. I call Troy like, yes, me too. Me too. Me too. Sorry. I'm not evil. Damn. I'm just like, go get some teeth. All right. Anyways, all right. Oh, God. Yeah, but these people are evil, and that's why they're rewarded in this world, but they can't take it with them, right? They are literally selling their souls for rewards in this world, and this world is dust. Yes, amen. Yeah. Oh yeah, Jeannie Marie said up there, bottom line, these are demons doing the devil's work, masquerading as Christian saints. It's so damn, it is so obvious. I'm just like, as subtle as an elephant, okay? Straight up. I'm just like, oh yeah, there they are. Coco Berthman, who was also with this movement here of people, this flock, okay? They are nothing but users. Exploit is the best word to have because they exploit on every level. They find loopholes to every single thing. And I mean, I'm sizing them up spiritually as well. That's what I mean by that. They are con artists, in my opinion. Yeah. They put the con in man. Put the man in con. It is obvious. I'm just like, how is this not a red flag just like for other people? How is it not a red flag? Oh my God. And I'm just like, stop trying to be right. That's just it. That's kind of how this chaos stuff works, is just kind of like with Tammy, the testimony about her, whether she ran in a 5K race or not. And I get it to argue the point. Okay. I get it. I do. I get it. But I really do think that she was a volunteer, because there's pictures of her at the finish line and I saw the pictures, with, blue jeans on. Who would run a 5K race in blue jeans? Not me, I don't think anybody would. And she had the blue shirt on. I think she was volunteering at the OUR race, September 7th, 2019. Chad Daybell was not there. Their company, though, however, did sponsor the run. That was there the same weekend that Tali was murdered. This is the distraction, I think, where, I mean, everybody's just kind of like tunnel vision. And I'm like, I asked Jason, I'm like, why do we get so, like, there's so much chaos to this whole ordeal. Tim, Jody, Ruby, Chad, Lori, all the people. There's more. Unfortunately, they just haven't shown their ugly heads yet. Oh my God, I'd walk 3.5. Yeah, I do the same thing in jeans, but I wouldn't. It corroborates. It's about the only thing that corroborates with Emma and Joseph Murray's testimony, in my opinion. Let me show you all that too. Yeah. I've been gathering stuff, right? I'm a gatherer, don't you know? Do you know? I'm a gatherer. We need to have a watch party and watch this entire Ken Krogue video. Well, Tim Ballard too, and friends. I think Jessica, that would sound like Jessica Mass, and she might have been like zoomed in, like on a Zoom call, because it sounds like she's on an intercom or something. But we need to have a watch party for that, because I don't know how else to disseminate the information. I don't want to hoard it. Yeah, totally. Totally, Gene. Totally. Random half truths. Yes. And it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. And it's, it's very distracting. It is. I mean, I've fallen for it too. And I'm just like, but the bigger picture beyond just, whether Tammy just trying to prove to her kids that it's like us trying to prove to her own children that Tammy was not a lazy bum like they painted her to be to save their father. Okay. And the jury saw right through that. Okay. So, I mean, thank God for people's discernment, some people's discernment. But, what I'm like, oh my God, but that's been clouding me seeing the rest of that weekend. Why? Emma Googled Southwest wind, she said, but that for sure she was doing that because she said she was planning for an event, but it happened the day before. That's a lie, unless she had another event. And I mean, why wasn't Chad Daybell at this race? Where was he at on September 7th? On September 8th, Tylee, is this the last day on Earth, right? And there's a lot of GPS pings. Okay. The video of Lauren, I think she did 2 videos where she went to the actual ping locations. Just really sketchy in the field kind of pings on their way back from Yellowstone. I don't think this was just Chad and Alex and Lori being evil. I really don't. I think that they have friends. And they are the fall guys. If you know what I'm saying. In the bigger scheme of things. I actually found a Clarissa too. But I don't have all that together. So, obviously, right? Let me see. I'm just going to show you all my little. Let's see here. What are we going to do? What did I come here for? I've been doing a lot. Oh, about the race. Okay. I found this too. I laughed when I saw this picture right here. Oh, it's not gonna. Oh, will it? No, don't do that. Okay. I was like, oh, poor Jesus. Let's see. Oh yeah, I found this interesting too, that the Process Church of the Final Judgment, this is, I don't know if y'all can see. Don't open. Okay. This is their, their logo. Oh, here's the 2019 audit. Oh, here it is. Oh, good. I'm glad I opened this. This is Tammy at the finish line. There's Tammy right. Let me scooch it in some more. Here's Tammy at the finish line. This is Garth. Garth is holding Emma's baby. This is Emma. This is Joe Murray. This is Seth and his wife. And then I want to say some of these people right here. These are, I don't know. I mean, they're just people that are there, but I was thinking that maybe they are Joe Murray's parents. Maybe, I don't know. And there's the OUR things. See, here's the start, the finish line. The principal, so I went back and listened to the principal's testimony where he said that he and his wife, they live in the same proximity of Smith Park right here, which is in Rexburg, which is where this race was held. OUR right here. Chad and Tammy sponsored it according to Joe Murray's testimony. Okay. So Chad sponsors this race, yet, I mean, his little binky bank, little podunk book company. I'm just saying, he just didn't seem to have the drive, to be sponsoring stuff. I just don't see him. I see him like making the woman or like Tammy pay when they first went out or something, like he just doesn't seem like a very chivalrous guy, but whatever. Anyway, so Chad sponsors this, yet he's not there at the event, but Tammy is there. And I mean, I remember grabbing a screenshot off of Web Sleuth, and it said that it was reported that Chad was not there. And it was a picture of Emma and Joe Murray and their baby at the finish line. That's the only one I've ever seen until I saw this. And I was like, oh, okay. And so, let me back this up a little bit. So I don't know. I think I really need to do and I already started to do that too, a deep dive into it, because I just want to put those elements together and let that paint a better picture visually, with the info of the weekend that Tylee was murdered. I mean, because there seems to be like there's pieces and they're here and there, but they're not quite adequate. They're not quite, fulfilled, and nothing quenches my, my suspicion. Nothing. So it's just like, I don't know. I just kind of want to build that a lot better. And I'd asked Megan if she would maybe want to do that with me. I forget what she said. I think she said she would come on anytime, but she's better at telling it than I am. And I want to show y'all this because this happened to come on the other night whenever something had ended and I was doing some cleaning. I had stuff in my arms going back and forth to each room. And I don't watch politics. I just don't, unless I have to, unless it's one of these, one of these guys. But I mean, this cracked me up. Let me see if I can get it to play right here. Or if it's going to open. Okay. Oh, it's the whole damn speech. Damn. What? All right, hold on. Oh, come on. All right. Where's the damn sound? Oh, there it is. Oh, good God, it scared me. All right, hold on. Because I was like, I know he's not talking. I don't think he's talking about Tim, but that you'll get a kick out of it. Oh, wait. Control F. I hope it's this. Yeah, it should be this one. Come on. Here we go. All right, ready?
A lot of ways. What they've done to our country is incredible. What is Kamala, who's a total lightweight? Did you see her on television last night? This is going to be the president. This is going to be the president of our country? I don't think so. Sitting propped up at a desk with this guy, this tampon Tim.
I was like, that's perfect. What'd you say? And I know he's not talking about Tim Ballard. I'm like, I don't even know who Tim is. I don't know who he's talking about. And I'm like, tampon Tim, that's perfect. Thank you. That'll go on some merch.
With this guy, this tampon Tim.
I'll back that 100%. I support this message. Anyways. Yeah, I actually saw him. I have a Facebook group that is difficult research. It's a closed, and I mean, it's not public. I don't know if I should make it public. I mean, it's not, I'm not hiding nothing, it's just I don't go on there enough. And I need to go on there because it's a good way where you can write things. You can kind of keep, different posts for different things. And anyways, there's a way to organize it. I'm just not good at it. So, but I had noticed that his brother, Joe Murray's brother, what's his name? Dalton, right? Yeah. He had liked something of mine on, I don't know, is he in my Facebook group? He might be in the damn Facebook group for all I know. But I was like, ooh, it might have been one of these, where I schedule live streams. And so it might have been that. But I was just like, yeah, I found it interesting. But yeah, it seems like, I've gone to the race site. I've gotten an entire roster of all the people who participated. There were about 140 people. And some of the last names alarmed me. I was like, oh, Hamblin? Let's not have any Hamblins there, please. I don't want any Hamblins there. That I was just like, oh no, red alert, red alert. But I mean, that was just at the race. It showed what time they finished. They got their certificates. The only one that would not print or, finish for me, it wouldn't materialize, was Garth's. It's not him. It's just something in the system where it just wouldn't calculate it or whatever. And so I even started looking into the platform that was used because to host these sponsored events. Okay. You have to, I forget the name of it right now. You have to go to it. And so hold on. Joe Murray would have had to, or whomever was heading that up would have had to, let me see. Hold on. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Let me make this smaller so I ain't got to scroll so much. Yeah. Sometimes I just throw stuff into one, Oh, these are real human trafficking things. These were on the FBI website that I found because I was like, I mean, one aspect I haven't embarked on was how do people how do other people investigate and take down traffickers? Okay. And then compare it because I think Tim is full of shit. Just saying. So that's what I did. Plus, I wanted to send this to my daughter because she was thinking about going into the FBI. God save us. Let's see. Yeah, I have a lot on here. Okay, come on. Where's the ticket thing? See, their mission for Angel Studios, our mission, this film is more than just a movie. It's a movement raising crucial awareness about the horrors of child trafficking. Every view is a strike against this evil. Is it, or is it $1 in your pocket? With over 70 million views, we've made an impact, but the fight is not over. We need more fighters for children. Supported by 300,000 guild members, we're breaking down barriers by offering the film for free for a limited time. Help us reach 100 million viewers. Call to action. Your contribution is vital to expanding our reach and impact. Your involvement can save lives. Your involvement can save lives. Let's spread awareness globally to end the exploitation of millions of trafficked children. Reach the world with Sound of Freedom. And then this race, the same platform that is used to schedule the race, that Joe Murray would have had to do, what Chad Daybell, Tammy would have had to do to sponsor an OUR race. It seems very much like this system right here, with the whole way that the Angel Studios did with the pay it forward type deal. It's interesting. I got lost all in that. I was like, oh Lord. Anyway, so Angel Studios, thanks to the millions of pay it forward contributions that made it possible for 70 million people to see Sound of Freedom, living in fear is not how we solve this problem. And you showed that living in hope is where a difference can be made. In their latest film, Sound of Hope? Tell me they weren't priming that. I think that's the name of it. Because 70 million people okay, this pissed me off. Because 70 million people watched a propaganda movie, Sound of Freedom, Alabama's Governor Ivey signed an account to crack down on human trafficking. It was appropriately named Sound of Freedom Act. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like they are playing off of this as if it was named after the movie. And it could be. I don't really care. I don't think so. I think they're con artists. But they're saying because 70 million people watched Sound of Freedom. So because of this movie, that the governor of Alabama, he signed this in, and it just happens to be named after us appropriately. In September 2023, California passed SB 14, which reclassifies commercial child sex trafficking as a serious felony. So because 70 million people watched a damn Ponzi scheme. On July 30th, 2023, the UN marked World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, highlighting the need for global cooperation in fighting trafficking and supporting victims because of 70 million viewers like you. As of February 2024, DOJ reported that a draft memorandum of agreement is under review that formalizes collaboration plans between DOJ's Office for Victims of Crime and the HHS's Office on Trafficking in Persons to combat child trafficking. And then, because of your 70 million views, the Preventing Child Trafficking Act of 2024 would enhance cooperation among federal agencies by requiring the Department of Justice and Department of Health and Human Services to implement the Governor Accountability Office's anti-trafficking recommendations. Learn more on our blog, A Celebration of Impact, the movement of Sound of Freedom. It's a movement, okay? You need the opportunity to continue telling this story. You have the opportunity to continue telling this story. Imagine the impact we could make if 100 million people watch this film, not just 70. That's up there, y'all, because 70 million people watched it. But, here, we need 30 million more. Okay. Who did a good deep dive in this was Fundy Fridays. They did a good deep dive into this on Angel Studios for sure. You have the opportunity to continue telling. Okay, so we could make blah, blah, blah. Pay it forward now to keep Sound of Freedom free to watch. Pay it forward now. Does that make any sense? Pay it forward now. Buy some tickets to keep Sound of Freedom free to watch. No, that is not. They cancel each other out. No. Put money in our pockets, and then hypothetically, like if I got to watch this movie, or I've not watched this movie, I will not watch this movie. I've seen enough of it, and I know what it's about. Ugh. I don't have to see acting or whatever because it's all an act, in my opinion. Anyways, so if I go to watch it for free, I wonder what would happen. That might be my little assignment. Sound of Freedom was exclusively in theaters on July 4th. Sound of Freedom is now available for free for a limited time. It's a public service, right? Thanks to guild members and those who pay it forward. Pay it forward contributions will allow this film to continue to be free for everyone to watch. That sucks. Why should I pay it forward to Sound of Freedom? Because we want to be rich. When you pay it forward to Sound of Freedom, you are covering the cost to market the film to the world. So everyone is be able to see the film for free. Not my typo. With the success of His Only Son, Angel Studios proved to the theatrical industry that this pay it forward model, oh Jesus, surpassed expectations. When you pay it forward, you are part of a movement in history to share stories that amplify light while we condemn all the dark ones, right? Like Tylee and JJ. I'm just saying they're dark, right? When is Sound of Freedom DVD in the store? We're not going there. Oh, you got to shop it on. You got to get it at Angel Studios merch store. Okay. Anyways. This is a lady. I want to say she's with the slave dealers. Catherine. Oh, Kathy. All right. God damn, I Googled it. Oh, please. I'm so glad y'all are here. Let's see. I did not see it. I see something new every damn time. That's not it. That's not it. Yeah, that's I don't even know what that one is. Let's see. Rexburg Rescue Run. Raceentry.com is what they use. So this was this one says 9/19/2024. Okay, so this one's coming up on my dad's birthday. And this one, the flyer, they use the same one from September 7, 2019. 6 a.m. Smith Park in Rexburg. Okay. But then you go and you kind of look at all this website. I'm like, oh, this just looks like a shitty website. Which, I mean, I got to say, they're doing better than I am. I'm like, I can't even put one, I need to make one. It seems so expensive and I can't afford it. See, and it says we will be feeding. So this one's from 2019. This one right here for sure. September 7, 2019. All proceeds go to Operation Underground Railroad and Rexburg Rescue Run. And so here's this little dilly-dally.
As a race director, you want to get maximum participation and make your race a memorable event. Your race has a lot of potential, but to reach your full potential, you need raceentry.com. At Race Entry, we have the tools to help you save your time and grow your race. Our incomplete registration auto emailer collects runners who are close to signing up, but for whatever reason never made it all the way. With the Race Entry referral program, you can incentivize your runners to bring more and more runners aboard. With Race Entry's automated participant management system, you have the option to allow participants to change their registrations or even sell their registrations to new participants without taking your valuable time. Again, here's your race potential with us, without us, with us, without us, with us. There's more. Let's go get it.
Can we build it? Yes, we can. Right. So that kind of explains it better than I could for sure. Right. So I'm just saying, it's just pretty shit. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's in a few days. No, it is not. I disagree. Unashamed apologetics. Thanks, though. Thanks for your opinion. No, Tim Ballard is an act. Trafficking, don't get it twisted. Tylee and JJ, okay, my family members, they were trafficked. Where was your hero? Just saying. I don't too much get haters or whatever. Tylee and JJ. This is my family. Three members of 3 of these 5 people that are murdered because of Chad and Lori Daybell. This is my family. Okay. And I just want to know why Tim Ballard, was he in Rexburg the weekend that Tylee was murdered? I'm just asking. I'm asking because I want to know. You know? There's your hero. And there's your hero. I'm anti-trafficking, but I'm also anti-Tim. It's not Mormon. It has nothing to do with Mormon. Anywho, let's see. There's Tim. I made that myself. It kind of goes. Think how much they could get if everyone donated to the cause with their tithe money for just 1 week, right? Just think if Tim was actually, in my opinion, doing something fruitful. You wouldn't have people accusing you. You wouldn't have no receipts of saving anybody, because there are none. You wouldn't have all these questions. It's not about taking Tim down. Tim is his own worst enemy because Tim is just a bullshitter. Okay. That's how I feel about it. Just in case you wanted to know. Here, we'll see how Tim wants to. This is Tim.
We just have not figured out how to pull it together. Okay.
So it's traffic content, download content, monetize content. That's it.
Any kids? No.
Moms who just, like when I'm walking around Utah, those are the people who come.
Yeah.
What kind of moms? Give me a description.
Like moms very active with their children, lots to have multiple children. Those are the ones that I see coming up to me. I see volunteering. We need to do. I just got a haircut today, and I was walking out. One of the other haircut people, walked over. Are you not who you are, that Underground Railroad guy? Oh my gosh, I sent everyone to see your movie.
I spell spirit again.
When's it gonna come? When are you gonna?
Describe that person. Were they a mom?
Yeah, 5 kids.
Okay. Okay. Now who's next? You. Who did you get to go viral on that?
Couple Drews.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to protect your say military and religious.
Be specific.
Christian, I would say
Believers.
faith-based.
Faith-based.
Yeah.
Okay, I
You
drew
probably
that wrong
more specific than
because that sucker is as big as this.
Yeah, that's what I'm
but
trying to
that's
go.
okay.
And when you think what's more specific than faith-based,
See, now what you would do is you would then connect it to faith-based. You'd have every single denomination, each one of those. So you'd have the Jewish, you'd have the Catholic. See how I'm working? And you want each of those communities.
See how big the LDS one is?
Yes, you want all the faith-based. Now, keep going.
Hey, what about just we're throwing stuff on the wall, right?
Yes.
It's all about the
that far
covenant.
left group that is so free and liberal that
That you call them pedophiles?
Howard Stern mindset, like
I'm not political.
look,
Just know that.
prostitution's okay, but not of children. Sex is terrific.
How to give them a name?
I have no idea.
So, I don't. Well, the free.
I don't agree with that.
Driving up there, I thought about what happens with a child molester in prison.
yeah,
That's
the thought.
Well, yeah. So
What's
it's
that emotion?
yeah, it's even Larry Flint, the
Yeah.
president, owner of Hustler.
Oh, Lord.
So
He
he
hates
out here a little bit.
So
But
okay,
it's the
there's a
left.
lot of people out there with a big.
So it's the pleasure seekers, and those people, those are Epicureans. That's that thought.
Yeah, that's huge.
Epicurean. I thought that was
My hair. And he was like, hey, somebody noticed
He is a
me.
heed pleasure, heedless. But kids are off limits.
Yep.
Yeah. So left. I'll think about that.
Proselytize and
Back to the core,
monetize.
though. Besides, if you had the moms and the patriots, well, patriots different than veterans.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you can be a patriot without being a veteran.
Are Rod Meldrum's communities?
No.
So we got that. We got the preparedness folks.
And if you throw LDS, that's
Well, you have like your police as well. I'm not sure if that's
Yes,
a different
yes.
category or not. but law enforcement officers.
LE.
I was going to say that was the next bag. And I'm from a donation.
A lot of
standpoint,
jealousy.
Yeah.
A lot of jealousy.
But I think that comes from the question that they had the freedom to operate.
Absolutely.
So, okay, here's the fourth rule. Ready for this?
They all wish they were part.
They'll talk trash and then they'll say, "Hey, can you?"
Yeah, exactly.
You guys suck.
You getting resumes?
Oh, I can't tell you how many stories I have around that concept.
What?
Yeah, these guys don't know what they're doing.
Who thinks like that?
Okay, so the fourth rule
What, they can't fly
Choose
on a
your
helicopter?
hotbox. So what we have to do is we have to harness
Theatrics.
their energy.
Mm,
They fight you. We want to embrace them. So we would want a special
I can't
club,
tell.
a special recognition for New York's finest, you know, something that allows us to embrace them and then use their momentum slightly, like judo does.
Use.
So
Good
that's
word.
how you actually go right in the middle and you cross brand with their biggest guys, like Sheriff Arpaio down in Arizona. You should do something like that. And then you should go find the exact opposite brand, but another really well-known, you know, respected. You know, the other one would be military. So this is old veterans. You want current veterans. You know, you want. But the way you do is you wade right into it and you embrace it, and you shift it, and you have a law enforcement advisory council about school teachers. Talk about a half dozen of the biggest guys who tell you how to win them over, and they speak for you. This just kills it. So like when we want to go target the millennials, we go get a group of 20 millennials who do an advisory council, and they tell us the messaging that will work.
Now he does this for the church
We
too.
probably don't go here initially, but you just form a small, and you only tap them once a year. You know, you give them some little special retreat where they come up and teach you, because this is massive. This is massive. So keep going.
Universities,
Yeah, educators.
University, like when we've done the trainings at the universities, that's they
Apostle.
stand in line.
Right, and that's
sometimes around the block,
your
but-
action group right there.
Yeah, and not so much on the donation side, obviously, but
Right, but if you say
Spread
we need you to
word
show up here
and
and
network.
They're militant. I mean,
Yeah.
millennials, they don't have a history of a cause, so they go find causes more than most. That's a big deal.
Well, yeah, the Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah. Well, and so why don't we do that once a year? You know, where we have some sit-in for the kids, you know, and let them get behind it. Now that's a little bit down the road here. I mean, this is half the population.
What if you were able to, Black Lives Matter?
Yeah.
All right,
Seriously.
what if children's lives matter?
Oh my gosh. You just diverted a river. You just grabbed that brand and spun it. That's brilliant. That's exactly what you do. So you go Black Lives Matter,
Okay.
and we come right back with Children's Lives Matter.
All lives matter. I mean, you just
All lives matter.
several times.
Dude, don't take my thunder. You're all about taking my
Derek has the last word.
I like how you're right now. Let me see if I can extract that.
Derek has the last word.
Drop by.
Okay, I'll take Thunder Stealer for 400.
I believe we're missing a big one. This is one that I'm going to try and help sponsor, and that's corporate philanthropy.
Seriously, so hard. YPO. We already had something started with those guys. Are you familiar with YPO?
Yes.
We've got an event.
See, they need universal causes.
Oh my gosh, the demographics of a YPO chapter are absurd. Truly, some of the wealthiest and most powerful people and influencers on the globe.
In fact, that should be right here.
So are we saving children
Yeah,
or are we
organization.
targeting?
And we have an event with them in
Planning?
Orange County in April. But you know, like every other nonprofit, well, here's what we're outlining with this guy. One of the YPO members in Southern California is Tim and I met with him a few times. He's a good guy. He's come on as an observer on the jump. We're going to take him and two other YPOs, put them through the background check, put them through training, and have them come on a jump with us with a film crew. Film crew's going to, you know, watch what they do, make a 3-4 minute video. We'll show that video at this event in Orange County and Laguna Beach or somewhere. And hopefully that's the model that we'll use to get the other YPO guys throughout the world. But I'd love to know how else
Now, before we go a lot further, there's another real key that we learned in this whole thing. You've got to have a quarterback for each of the main projects. So what we have to do is we have to scale Q to where
Qville.
we need more resources. Then we get a quarterback for the next strongest community with a project behind it. And then we scale them. And then the biggest thing about this model is that what you're trying to do, and this, it took me a while to figure out how this thing worked. There is a company, and we'll put your staff through it. It's called Digital Marketer. I think you've already been through it. They're the best in the world at what we're talking about here. And what they do is they do training like digitalmarketer.com.
They have 8 certifications.
Yeah, they do training on how to do digital marketing. And
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on.
that's normally $50. And at the very end of it, they train upside. Say, look, we've got 40 courses at $50 pop. That's $2,000. We give you one for $7, but for $38.
Do you care about JJ and Tylee?
We'll give you all of them.
Do you, for real? Let's have a talk. Let's
They have
for real. Let's have a talk. I don't even know where to start. There are so many things that are wrong with the entire situation. There are some really suspicious, questionable, curious, strange connections between Visions of Glory, Tom Harrison, who has given Tim priesthood blessings. Okay. And we've read them, we've heard them, talking about how he's going to be a future prophet of the church. How, and I don't disagree with you, except for the movie as propaganda. It is, because it's not exactly, it's not at all how trafficking goes. Just know that. But okay. But yeah, so Tom Harrison and using ketamine treatments. So, and whatever, you know, do what you do, boo. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of questionable practices. There's a lot of questionable motives. There are so many things that are questionable about Tim Ballard. That's just my opinion. And maybe we do need more films like Sound of Freedom, except that they need to actually portray, you know, the actual, what it's like to actually be trafficked. A real picture of a real film about that. I mean, I don't know. There's so many things. There's just all the ties and everything with Chad Daybell and Lori. Okay, Lori was my aunt. Lori murdered my uncle. Then she, you know, moved her children. My nephew is JJ. Tylee was my step cousin. She moved them to Idaho, where they were murdered. Tylee was murdered on the weekend that Tim Ballard's OUR rescue run race was being sponsored in Rexburg by Chad Daybell and Lori. I mean, Chad Daybell and Tammy. Was Tim there? Was Tim in Rexburg the same weekend that baby girl was murdered? 16-year-old Tylee. Okay. Is that the boneyard? I mean, I'm just asking. And then you have JJ, who was murdered on, you know, a couple weekends after that. And there was a Firm Foundation conference there. Why? That's just, I believe in coincidences somewhat. Like, I live on Cox Road. I think that's hilarious because Lori's maiden name is Cox. Alex's last name is Cox. And I'm like, well, that's a freaking coincidence. But all these other ones are not. I'm just saying, I'm not going to idolize anybody. I'm not going to bow down and praise anybody. And I'm definitely not going to go and like, it's not the political aspects that everybody, or whatever the hell, people try to polarize these things, and they're not difficult. Ritual abuse, ritual murder, these things are real, yet everybody gets all crazy about them. You know, trafficking is real. I believe that it does happen. It happened to Tylee and JJ, as a matter of fact. It happened to Madeline Soto. It happens. That is a real portrayal of what trafficking looks like, not doing a fucking couples ruse, saying that we were married before in a past life, just like Chad told Lori. Where did they get that shit from? Not Saturday's Warrior. They got it from Tom Harrison. Tom Harrison maybe got it from his angels or his higher ups. Perhaps. I'm just saying. I agree. Yeah, I agree. But it's not the movie. It's Tim Ballard I can't stand. It's Tim Ballard and his everything about him. Everything that I've researched over the last 5 years, every single day. Every day I have researched this ever since my uncle was murdered in July of 2019. This has been my quest. I want to find answers. People aren't giving them. I have to dig. So I've had to learn a lot about a lot of people and a lot of things that I never cared about. I never had to care about, never had to think about. But I cannot sit here and I will not prop up a man. I will not idolize him. I will not bow. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of those people. I'm not like that with, I'm like that. Blah, blah. I'm like that with everybody. If somebody does something, I don't like worship them. I'm just like, oh, right. Good job. And you just carry on. But it's just, I don't know. You're up late, Melanie. You are. I mean, there's a lot of things I need answers to that, it's not about whether the movie is, you know what I mean? There's a two sides to every story, or three, actually. There's his, hers, and then there's the truth. That's something my grandma always told me. I mean, well, I don't know if JJ was trafficked, but I mean, in a sense, yeah, she collected federal Social Security. I mean, I don't know if that qualifies. I think so. That is traffic, right? Tylee, money, power, sex. Just saying. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. It's a very complex, at least from my point of view. I'm not a YouTube creator. I'm just here in this corner of the internet where I have a amazing, supportive community who go through all the difficult research with me over these last 5 years since the murder spree began. And we're still not finished with getting justice for my family members. Okay. We still have Arizona to go. We've got 2 trials down, 1 to go. That's 3 total trials. And I feel empty with the lack of information, the lack of questions answered they just don't seem like they would be difficult to produce. Like, I don't know. We don't even literally, like, we really don't even know what day the children died on. Both of them. It's either September 8th or 9th for Tylee, and it's September 22nd or 23rd for JJ. It's like, schedule out a whole block weekend or block 2 days. And I mean, because you think about them all the time, but then you really especially think about them on anniversary dates, on their birth dates, on special occasions, holidays. So it just amplifies it even more. And just not to know, that's like, we don't even know how Tylee died. That's crazy to me. We don't even know where all her remains are. Crazy to me. Great. Hey, Carolyn. Sorry. Got on my little soapbox here. And I mean, again, I guess I'm probably expecting too much for people to understand it from my point of view. I don't wish this on anybody. I don't have enemies. I really don't. I don't care about what Tim does. I don't care for what he does and how he does it. I don't care for him as a person. I don't respect him. there's there's other people I don't respect. There's people that I do and whatever, but I still don't praise them. I'm not like, oh my God, I won't go to battle, I don't know. I stand up for my murdered family members because they're not here. They're not here. Their voice was silenced. Okay. And you're entitled to that opinion. We'll just agree to disagree. Thank you. I guess, depends on where you research. I know, Huggy Bear. Thank you. Appreciate it. I want to know the reality of kids being trafficked for abuse of an adult kind, to be honest, frankly. Okay, so maybe we can do a deep dive into that because I would learn a lot too. Just what does that look like? And then that would help us compare and contrast between a movie that, again, it goes to the whole motive. It fits, it tracks with Tim Ballard's motive to this whole covenant idea, getting people to convert to Mormonism or turn to God, however he does it. I believe in God. I don't need Tim Ballard to tell me. I don't need a movie to tell me. I just look at the real life. I look at where, my nephew came back in a box he was ashes. Okay. He is ashes. Okay. And my uncle came back in a box. It's real life, real life in these streets. Okay. I don't know. I know. What is the demand? Yeah. I think if Tim Ballard would stay home, a lot of children would be safe. Just saying. I think that would be a good deep dive, actually. Gene, let's do it. We're doing it. Whew. Okay, I don't know.
645,000
listen to more of this. I don't know.
people, Todd, who've paid them at least $7 once. And remember the rule.
There's nothing about kids
You
on
have
here.
to buy it one time, you have a 10x
It's a date.
improvement on being able to sell them something slightly bigger.
$5 to $7.
Yes. But it has to look like it's worth 40,
Hmm.
$50. So really they come up with all these monetized courses. And then they periodically just discount one that you seem to be most interested in.
I'll have to look at that.
Because you might have
Zero.
clicked on
We'll
it
take a
once.
deep
They
dive.
show you that one on Facebook. And that $7 course has a 20. Well, let me see. What's 140,000 into 645,000?
I don't know.
That's about
More than I make.
Yeah, 20%, 25%. Yeah. They have a 20 to 25% conversion ratio of taking that $7 course to a $38 a month course for a year.
Proselytize
They were
and
the first company to
monetize.
get to $1 billion valuation in 5 years through just what we call alchemy. They
Alchemy.
take something that costs nothing, an idea in your head, film it, make it a course, and sell it. There's no cost of goods. Then they sell 8 levels of certification. Well, their number one course is the thing that launches is called a 21-day launch.
We did a course of like Tim teaching mothers how to protect their children.
Yes, that's exactly right. And law enforcement officers how to notice when the real fine-tuned issues going on. Something for each of these communities to be able to be part of it. But here's the point: at the 21-day launch, they teach you a core concept, and that is this. This is
Eternal core.
It's how to monetize
And
all of your
profit.
marketing. Okay, so they never spend marketing on nothing. In other words, they don't let you just do brand advertising ever. It's always, always, always demand gen that sells something that pays back slightly more than the cost of the market. Okay, and it's like a lost leader strategy. So in other words, that they test that $7 cost, so it always
Kind of
over
boring.
time pays the cost of the Facebook advertising to launch it. That's the key. So in other words, you'll never run out of money. If you always monetize at least enough to pay for the cost of the marketing. You have enough left to do it again. So it's sort of, I don't know what to call it. It's like loss leader marketing. Well, it's not a loss. That's not the right. It's monetized marketing. Minimal profit. Yeah, minimal return marketing. Yeah, there we go. But there's always enough to do it again.
Okay.
Now, you never bet the farm on a campaign. You always test, and make sure you can get your $7 paying for your Facebooks. So your $7 on average made it cost $3 to do the Facebook ads to get a $7.
That's right. You're saying you test the two groups.
Yeah, you test the groups. You fail small, and then go big. You know,
That's good advice.
We call it shoot bullets,
Hmm.
then cannonballs.
That's what I'm talking about.
22 bullet costs, a nickel or whatever. It's a lot more now, I guess. So you test on small iterations till you get an ad that converts a $7 return for $3 on Facebook. Now you've got a mojo going on here. You can do that forever because you never drain the principal.
You know who's good at watching those numbers? Jesse Stay.
Jesse. Oh, he just said Jesse Stang. I mean, Stay.
Watch those numbers
Yeah.
and how well it's converting. What he's not
Okay.
good at is developing your content and all that stuff. So he'd be one of those guys that you'd have to have.
Which
on
they did
staff,
use.
making sure that the A/B testing.
Okay, everybody out in the stretch for a minute. We're going to now do brainstorming. We're going to be done here pretty quick. We're going to brainstorm sharp
No,
names.
they did
And
not
we're
do.
gonna-
They were
one of my
not
favorite
quick.
things is what I call the one-liners. Plenty of one-liners.
They're stretching straight up.
I mean, when it slows down, it means you're about done. So we'll move on to the sharks now. We're going to do two kinds of sharks. We're going to do the kind you know and the kind we want. The obvious ones like Oprah, we want to know. Maybe you know her already. But the ones you've met. So we're going to want to do the ones you know and all of you. But we're going to start with Tim. Things you've already have some kind of interaction based on the OUR model. Okay. So just start throwing out ones you know.
Glenn Beck,
Yes.
Lindsey Sterling. I'm going through it. These are ambassadors, and this is not. So these
Brand
are
ambassadors.
or not just know, but like they're already committed to doing. I could call them up and they'd be like, "Let's do
So
it."
these are yeses.
Yeah, these are already yeses.
Really.
What's the other little girl? This little singer, Lexi Walker. She's a yes.
Ken likes talking about her.
Brooke White's a yes. She's already in. She does the thing I ask.
Is Elizabeth still involved?
Elizabeth said maybe.
This is horrible.
Pause there.
Yeah, I would.
She's a
She's
tough
not a
character.
yes.
Tough character.
I put her on there. No,
I'll put her on there. We know.
not a,
Put her question.
definitely not a yes.
She'll do anything we want.
Okay.
She'll do anything we want.
Yeah, you've got some friends that.
So I'm going to put a question mark there.
Yeah.
Well, she probably hasn't heard this model yet.
friends up there.
Oh yeah.
Let me work.
Well, it would help her. Yeah, I mean,
This would help her.
a ton.
What it really means is she's probably
They're
got
like-
people guiding her around who are
Yeah.
old school.
They're like Stone Age compared
Keep
to where
going.
Terry Crews. He's pretty much a yes.
Wait, what's John Travolta's wife?
Kelly Preston.
Kelly Preston. And this is a great way to get to
John True.
Marisol Nichols. Tom Cruise.
what's it, Marisol's friend, the cute tall blonde.
Oh, Marisol Nichols.
Jenna Elfman.
As long as it's not the other
Jenna Elfman.
Cascade.
Cascade.
He's got a billion followers. He's a millennial DJ that
Keep going, Emily. What'd you say?
And he'll do. These people will do. I'm telling you.
they're waiting for us.
All of these people have told us, tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Montel Williams. There we go.
Adam LaRoche.
I know Alex Boyd was
And he was related to, we met him at the
really.
Oh, Luke Bryan.
Farm Foundation too.
Luke Bryan.
What was LaRoche? What was that one?
And he'll be here
Adam LaRoche.
this month or in September.
I'd add
Concert
Luke Bryan.
I'd add Ryan Welch. Why are you laughing?
Yeah.
Why are you?
No.
Yeah, why are we laughing?
We see Big Jesus as scared off the list.
Dude,
How much is the same?
We got this picture done.
shark.
Shark.
He's a whale shark.
I can
think of another.
Ballard, right?
With Ballard.
Gotta edit that.
Delete.
I did not.
Yeah, I've got a good picture of this.
Any other LDS high levels?
I heard we have a Colin likes this, right?
Oh, you know what? We have the Slim family. So Carlos,
Oh, Slim.
yeah, Slim
Alejandro
family.
Monteverde.
I include Eduardo. So these are the movie guys.
Yeah.
Eduardo Verastegi. Eduardo
Movie.
V. He's like the Tom Cruise of Mexico. No,
Sweet.
and he's in our pocket like 110%.
And
They're the ones doing the movie.
Ali.
Wow.
Ali Monteverde's got quite a following.
Oh yeah, Ellie Landry.
Ali
Miss
Landry.
Louisiana, y'all.
100%.
She was the one that did the Doritos commercial.
Yeah.
The Doritos girl.
So can I erase this now? So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going
yeah.
this way. Go this way.
Picture, Derek, who? Derek, did you get a picture?
That's not
Yeah.
bad.
Well, how about Sean Reyes and Governor Herbert? They're both fans and supporters.
Yeah,
Fans.
we've got some other politicians too, national, like a couple congressmen, Congressman Paulson, Eric Paulson,
Chris Smith.
Chris
Eric
Smith,
Paulson?
Eric Paulson.
Wait,
a
Mia Love.
few
What
congressmen.
about the guys that Fox?
I'm doing non-Utah. You can put on the Utah congressional
Bear,
delegation.
Brian.
I'm thinking of outside Utah.
Oh yeah, Brett
Bear?
Bear.
This is interesting.
Almost everyone at Fox News we have.
And
Brett Bear.
Elaine Quijano. Didn't you see the one that did the CBS News piece on
And Elaine Quijano about him.
What about
Quijano?
You just showed it up last month.
what about the reporters that are on the blades? Like Tony, the girl, the blonde
Yeah,
hair.
I'm going on her show next week.
Did you guys put
She
Tony
gets
Robbins
millions
up there?
of views on, like,
Tony Robbins.
Oh yeah, of course. She's big in social media. She does a good job.
Okay, so you know I'm going on her show next week.
No, I should be tweeting this and everything.
Yeah, we don't know. It's not confirmed yet, but
Who is it?
what's her name?
I can't remember.
Emily, what's her name? The Blaze?
Lauren.
The Blaze.
Tommy Lauren or something.
Tommy Lauren? Something like that?
Lohren or something.
Are we going on next weekend? I'll be in New York next week. I might be
Who's the other? There's a guy too that's really Buck Sexton.
Yes. Now, we have to really do a balancing act, like I said. Because, I mean, like over here, if we got Buck Sexton and Glenn Beck, we want to have probably O'Reilly, you know? We want to find that.
I'm gonna play this real quick
Thesis, antithesis, you know?
as it loads
We wanna
up.
balance as much as we can, and it becomes pretty easy to start doing it. But we want to hit Oprah.
Aw,
Ellen.
Yes.
Would be amazing.
Yeah. Anderson Cooper.
Yeah.
it did do.
Yes.
Did it?
Um,
It didn't load it. God,
Pretty much just the talk show, folks.
Yeah.
So we need to do a deep dive into all of the talk shows.
this is
And,
crazy.
What we start doing is when you fly out, we want to try and book you to a couple of things around that. If we can. It's like if you're going to be there for some big one, we want to do a morning show and an afternoon
This makes sense to
show.
me geographically.
Well, I mean,
It'd be fun to take one and run through the entire cycle. So the whole
Yes.
team's like, okay, we got Tony. We're on step 1 of step 13. We
Yeah.
got one movie. We did one film.
Is that how you, that's a great question. That's
We got the
exactly right.
blogs. We got the
Is that how you do it?
That is how you do it.
Okay,
The
you
first
want
time
to
you do it is the hardest.
So you identify who's that one person that we're, okay.
Maybe
But we still want to go ahead and get a list of everybody.
Okay, what-
we do
Yeah,
a
okay.
list. I think
What if
that's
you-
Yeah, yeah.
Again, a little left strategy, literally. What if you look at foundations or individuals who are huge global presence, i.e. Clinton Foundation? They've got a reputation problem right now. And
Yeah,
what if
little
you went after, whether it's a manufacturing, Monsanto, I mean, I don't know, that has questionable image.
They
In my experience, they need us
Yes.
to help build their image.
I wonder how they're
Clinton
doing that
Tower,
now
or, you know,
to help their image.
the mining, the oil and gas,
Yeah.
the ones that a lot of people think are destroying the world,
Right.
need to run and they've got their $5 billion advertising campaign, they need to show that, hey, we're doing things. We're helping. So
Can you speak to one thing, please? It's easy to look at this and go, cool, I'm going to go get on here, and then you're going to make me super popular. But you've been on things before that didn't make you super popular.
So what was missing?
What was missing? A flash in the pan.
What was missing?
what? That's my question. We've done this
There's
before.
only one thing
It's
missing.
I mean, he's been right there. What's
What?
it's that circle? It's the conversion, the call to action.
No, we've had calls to action. We just didn't. They haven't been. I think they're just the same tired call to action.
Takes
What's
forever.
the same one?
Well,
You gotta have free ones to build your base, and then monetized ones to drive the revenue. And you're right, we gotta be intriguing.
Sure.
In other
The
words,
message is compelling.
what I'm trying to do is highlight that we have done this, and you can go down some of these steps. But if you don't
You know what?
have
Okay.
everything,
We
it doesn't work.
we don't have to
Let me
reinvent
talk about this.
invent the wheel. Where did these come from? Who was the first person to do it? Lance Armstrong. He's got a bit of a reputation image, but that
A
was
little
after
bit.
the fact.
Well,
What was he
the
doing?
problem is that might have tainted the whole meeting.
It may have,
Yeah.
but the point being, these things were never.
Cool.
But everybody has these now. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. Kids Cancer Foundation, Lance Armstrong Foundation, did something. They sold these for $10.
They didn't say kids. They just sold
I'm
these.
not saying that's not remote, but
You're
just saying
saying
there's something
really
there.
powerful, and the key, I believe, is the uniqueness of and the innovation. You know, doing an also ran kind of thing. Never
Player
pulled it.
no. Also.
And what we tried to put our heads around, what's the mojo that makes it always work, and why does swim with the sharks work?
Doing this for the right reason.
Now, we think it's one word. It's anything that's cool.
Yeah.
The cool factor is probably the most powerful single concept there is in this whole.
That's all
absolute
you
model.
got.
And so what?
So
we do-
rescuing kids with Navy SEALs.
Yeah, the
Cool.
Navy
Cool.
SEAL.
You know
man
what?
is the cool.
So there's a company, I love their stuff. Frankly, their brand, their shirts, I wear mine all the time. It's called Spiritual Gangster.
We are
It's a
not
yoga.
endorsed by
I don't
them.
even do yoga. I just like their gear. Spiritual Gangster. And the last week I've been going, I get more comments on those shirts just a
Yeah.
t-shirt says Spiritual Gangster and some little black, 10,000 times more than any other gear and I wear.
Right.
Nice, I love that shirt. And I thought, gangster is a cool word. I wish we could do abolition.
But look what they've
rescue
done.
gangster.
Look what
or-
they've done. That's bridge.
Gangster is
They've done a bridge.
exactly.
See, they took two complete opposites and bridged it together, and now they've siphoned off the brand that was bad to good.
That's what I'm saying we need to do.
And
So
we just got to keep driving this. And so this is the real mojo. Always is here.
It's got to be.
It's easy to do communities
Yep.
and thought leaders and sharks, but this is where I try and go is what I call one-liners. And so you know all the Clint Eastwood movies. They built the movies on the one-liner.
Yeah. Go ahead, make my day.
We've got to
Okay.
become masters at
God's
that.
children aren't for sale.
If there's any value of branding left, it's in this stuff. Because Twitter has 140 characters.
You know who did that really, really well? Porn Kills Love.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
He's got 1 million followers.
Yeah.
I mean, I talk to Clay fairly often, and he's always like,
See,
do you know how bad I wish I was selling child sex trafficking? Because you know how hard it is to
Selling? Whoa. What?
get into porn.
So what's
Hold
he? So he has more followers than we do. Is that
We need to tap those guys.
Did you just say selling sex trafficking?
Yeah.
He's got 1 million followers.
Yeah.
I mean, I talk to Clay fairly often, and he's always like,
See,
do you know how bad I wish I was selling child sex trafficking? Because you know
What?
how hard it is to sell. Don't get into porn.
So what's he do? So he has more followers than we do. Is that
We need to tap those guys.
They're talking about type the new drug.
Yeah.
He's got 1 million followers.
Yeah.
I mean, I talk to Clay fairly often, and he's always like,
See,
do you know how bad I wish I was selling child sex trafficking? because you know how hard it is to sell. Don't get into porn.
So what's he do? So he has more followers than we do. Is that
We need to tap those guys.
60% more
How
followers.
come?
Because he's got a one
Because
line.
is this
That's
fight
true.
for the drug, or is that the same group as fighting?
It's
But-
fucking drugs.
Because our message is way more powerful than his.
Way more. He will admit that.
So
We need a one line.
He bridges really, really well.
But we need that's
Yeah, he's brilliant on the
And
creative side.
If you look at the revenue that he earns and then the way he spends it, he spends it predominantly on graphic designers
Yeah,
and
the look.
millennials.
Yeah.
Designing his T-shirts,
Yep.
posters. I mean, he spends a lot of money and pays those guys. His website, his articles, his
killer.
research.
I love his stuff.
That's where he puts all of his money. He's a thought leader.
Okay, so
So what we've learned to do there is, the price of cool is crazy high if you do it the way everyone else does it. So what we do is we go get in really close
Crazy.
with the creative design staff at BYU, and we ask them to give us their new Prodigy, their best. We want the kids who could go to Madison Avenue, but we don't want them to know it yet.
Glad.
And so this is because you can't afford in a nonprofit world to live and breathe the way everyone else does design. That's the formula for disaster. So our model is we just stay scrappy.
Wait, let's think about this for a second, because Gordon Bowen is, I mean, he's been in the the advertising world for a long time. Ogilvy and Mathers, Young and Rubicon, Rubik, I don't know all the names. I don't know them off, by heart. And he's actually the one that the church used to create the new logo for the church. It's the Jesus, and it's I don't know. It does like this. It's like what do you call that shape? Archway or something. And I mean, he got paid from what Glenn Packer reported, a hefty amount, 10 or 20 million. I forget the number. Don't quote me. But so the church used him. He was known as basically M. Russell Ballard's prodigal son. Okay. Then you have Tim Ballard over here, who's also like a prodigal son to Elder Ballard. Okay. Then you have, but I mean, this is Gordon Bowen's niche. And so Ken Krogue, I mean, he does stuff for the church too with I want to say the youth. I don't know all the titles. Okay. But I can get them together. And then Tom Harrison is also like, I don't know how to say it other than slang. Okay. But he basically like tells them whether a missionary is light or dark. Okay. Basically that's just my little spin on it, but that's the gist, allegedly. So that's interesting to find on Ken Krogue's playlist, Gordon Bowen, a playlist of Gordon Bowen, a playlist of Chad and Lori's criminal case. And I mean, I'm just trying to figure out the dynamics here. And then you have Mitt Romney, who, I mean, during his 2012 presidential campaign or whatever, that whole thing, M. Russell Ballard would accompany him. And Mitt Romney is really good buds with Frank Vandersloot. Frank Vandersloot, billionaire in Idaho Falls, okay, that owns East Idaho News. George Bush he's photoed with George Bush. Who is it? Trump Jr. has been at his house. A representative from my state, Johnson is his last name, had lunch with Frank Vandersloot not too long ago, within the last 2 months. Just trying to figure out the dynamics here. So it's like there's these two different groups, but they don't all get along with one another. And so I'm just trying to figure that out. Like, why, you know, because it's interesting to me. But I mean, why not use Gordon Bowen? Why call Ken Krogue in, you know, to come help Tim monetize and proselytize, or, you know, proselytize and monetize, just do the American Covenant thing? Is this another, not a psy org or whatever, but a psyop, not a psy org. I don't know. I'm trying to pin it down. Like a psyop, kind of, but or dual. I don't know, because it's like, is it saving children, or is it just to portray the image of saving children? And it seems to get gain more. And I mean, according to the 2019 whiteboard meeting, I mean, it funnels in, according to that picture description and everything, it shows different organizations, different people over all these different organizations, and how it funnels into timballard.com. So what comes out of whose pocket is timballard.com, where this final destination? Okay, where does that go? What is timballard.com? What, you know, like it's a lot. There's for-profit entities, you know, that are, you know, in the depiction on the whiteboard meeting. It is very interesting. And to know that this was in 2016, this is before the 2019 whiteboard prophecy, I call it. I don't know. It's freaking interesting to me. I will have the dynamics figured out one day, you know. Oh, not only that, but Gordon Bowen also worked on the 2002 Winter Olympics campaign, him and Mitt Romney. So him and Mitt Romney get along. Okay. Whereas Mitt Romney does not care for Tim Ballard because of the comment he made about his Senate seat or whatever. Y'all know I'm not political. I'm just, you know. But Mike Lee allegedly met with Tim Ballard at the Salt Lake City airport to devise a game plan, so to speak, allegedly, on running for that, you know, Senate seat. So it's like, these people are for, and then these people aren't, and then it's like, I don't get it, and I find it fascinating. It's freaking fascinating to me.
We go.
Just
we
saying.
swim way
We won't do
upstream,
this
which is
much
the
longer.
next one. Move everything upstream.
Well,
So let me give you an
hello.
example. This one's huge.
Thank you.
So,
Thank
in
you.
other words, move all of your
Means a
effort
lot.
upstream from what everyone else does. For example, when we do a trade show, this is probably our best play as a company. I learned this at Franklin, and what I do
That's a good one.
at Franklin, I learned I had to plan for a big event eight weeks ahead of time.
You
And that I
that
should
and
give
the
all
earthquakes
my
and
effort about the event before I got
natural
to the event.
disasters.
So I wrote 2 articles on Forbes that I want your team to read, and they're like the 12 commandments of highly effective trade shows.
12 commandments.
When we do an event, let me give you a couple of examples.
Oh.
The first one was
Yes.
a dream course every year. Everybody
Recruit.
else buys a huge platinum booth for $1 million. Well,
Holy crap.
it's 30 by 30. We buy a gold booth for 200,000. It's only 10 by 20.
Y'all, that is a lot.
Extra,
God dang.
$750,000 that we didn't spend, and we get another $1 million at Swag. Really nice remote controlled airplanes or sweatshirts with a really cool brand on it. And we give that away to bring everybody from the show floor to the meeting room.
And every year you've got them coming back.
And we do 20-minute presentations.
This all makes
with
sense.
20 to 40 people in that room,
But
where we have a chance to immerse them in who we are. So everybody else, they go hang out at a trade show booth for 5 minutes and walk away with, you know, some goofy, stupid little thing.
Warm and fuzzy.
Big on the Swag. And
I remember what we did was we would spend months previous
yes,
to Dreamforce.
we would set appointments before the
Set
show to meet
appointments
us at
everybody
our
was
booth.
going to So they would, the appointment would show up at the booth, and then we would man people at the booth, and their job was to run them over to
The average company at Dreamforce walked away with 165 leads. 2 years ago, we walked away with 11,700.
Goo!
And they had
They
all
are
been
working
through
their
a
ass off.
20-minute presentation and gotten swag, and were willing to talk to a salesperson out afterwards. We had 16 million in pipeline in 4 days. We closed 4 sales at the show. So how do you close 4 sales at the show when it's a 2-month sales cycle? Well, the key is you take the list of people last year who came, and they become the people you invite to come meet you at the show, and you work them over so that the live event. Remember my little thing of social, digital, virtual, live.
Just do.
Imagine the cost that it would be to go visit those people, but they're all there with you. So this is a live event. So if you've done your stuff ahead of time and you've swum upstream for 2 months, and we had 2,500 appointments set for the show before the show began. So the number one rule of swimming upstream is never hold an event that you can't set more appointments before the event begins to pay for the event. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the key is the database. So if you have everybody you met in San Francisco at last year's event, whatever it is, and there's a couple thousand, and you invite them to come meet you at the show, you stack the deck and move everything upstream. So this is the same thing we do with everything. We always move it upstream. I'm sorry, I sort of forgot the original reason I was talking about this principle. It's critical. My brain's still. Anyway.
Right.
But, what was that? It was really important. We were talking about branding.
Can afford to Madison Avenue approach.
Yes, that's it. Okay, perfect. Okay, that's it. Thank you. So,
all right, just a little bit longer.
We learned. You guys ever heard of Billy Bean? Yeah. He's the founder, or he's the general manager of the Oakland A's. And he was Moneyball. He taught us this.
Saber metrics.
Saber metrics. He cost us $40,000 for a 40-minute speech at our trade show 2.5 years ago, and we had to sign that no reporters would be in the room and we wouldn't share all of his secret sauce. But here's what he does. He did Moneyball, and he watched all the stats. And if we have one little econ major, people think the stats are so expensive. An econ major out of BYU is $40,000, and you can just kill it. Because the way he recruits pitchers is he looks for a kid who, in the vetting process of college baseball, was good enough that he matched the stats that would be an $8 million pitcher. But then he goes and recruits him for $350,000. And he has to work a little harder to find one. He recruits them at $350,000. He writes them up to where they're worth $8 million. Then he intentionally trades them to his biggest enemies in baseball, because that siphons off $800,000 of their payroll. Only costs him. Then he goes and finds another kid. So,
let me ask a question. All right.
No.
Are his teams, one, winning and go to the playoffs, and two, if they don't go to the playoffs, are they?
I don't know, Liza.
Yes.
So show me an outcome.
I'm not sure.
If his team is more profitable than others, I'm interested. Because I know they're not winning the pennant.
Not this year, but they traditionally have.
They have the highest winning ratio in professional baseball.
You should.
That's what I wanted to get.
So here's their payroll. They're number 4 lowest in all payroll. In 2012, 2013, they had the highest number of wins.
So they're almost always in the playoffs.
And so here's my point. Beautiful. Okay. Here's my point. You cannot compete as a nonprofit with ad agencies, and you can't pay their fees ever.
You go.
They'll drain you dry.
You can hire media PR teams.
Is you
like
go
you
to
did.
the communications department at BYU, and you find their best talent, and you let them be interns for you. Because you got the coolest story to tell. And so what we do is we have one lieutenant whose only job is really to just to build you an army of interns. and then you teach them all this social stuff. Then you let them tell your story. And then you find that really great designer.
Tim
on
Ballard?
Madison Avenue would cost you $450 an hour, and it's literally a $35,000 kid.
No, if it's Tim.
We did that, and our best branding came from that kid. Now he literally is on Madison Avenue. When I teach, I bill $25,000 a day for what I just showed you guys, and I hire kids out of college for $32 grand, and in a single year, not taking what we show them, they get hired away to $130,000. This happened enough times. So what I'm trying to do is build you guys some strategic knowledge, and you've got the strategic brand. So we have to make it cool for the best talent at BYU to come work with you.
So is Ken is he volunteering his time to, he's investing in the cause, and he is teaching them how to proselytize and monetize. I just thought about that. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know, y'all. We're just going to end it right there because holy crap, it's long. And if y'all want to, I'll schedule it. We need to. We'll just play the whole dang thing. Yeah. It's like somebody who said it earlier. Don't sit on it. Where was it? Where is it? Yeah. Texas Roadrunner says, you can't show this whiteboard info too much. Everyone needs to see this organization for what it truly is. And I agree. So anyways, that's something that we can do. Words right out of your brain. I don't know how much is Ken charging? You were asking that at the same time. Yeah. Because he said earlier he was going to invest in it. And then so I'm like, so, does Glenn Beck go teach him how to do stuff? How many other investors? How did M. Russell Ballard? Never mind. Don't answer that. I'm just saying, it just seems very goal oriented. Like we have this goal and we'll do whatever it takes to fake it till we make it, obtain it, whatever they got to do to make this film or these films and these TV shows and these films. Why? And where is the proof? Where are the receipts? That's all we're asking for is accountability. There's nothing wrong with being critical and analyzing these people who collect millions of donor dollars, pay it forward, blah, blah, blah. Where is the proof? Where's the beef? Where's the proof? Okay. Anyways. Oh, really? Really? They don't watch TV. What the hell? Oh, we got to talk about that. So I also have talked to, her name is Heidi Love, and she's going to come on with me. She's an ex-Mormon, and she's really knowledgeable, and she's funny, and I love her laugh. It makes me laugh. But I had ran across her before Chad's trial, and then I remember thinking a bunch of times since then, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how to get to her because she was on somebody else's channel. So anyways, I found her again the other day. Something popped up in my algorithm, and it was I don't remember the podcast, but it didn't even show her on the thumbnail or say. And so I clicked on it, and then when I saw her as a guest, I was like, all right, yay. So I got a hold of her, and then so I'm looking forward to that. She's going to come on, regular. I would like for her to come on regularly because, she goes into all the Freemasons. You got to remember Tim Ballard was also not just him, but so was Paul Hutchinson. It was Paul, Tim, Veristigi dude, and Sean Reyes. They were knighted. Okay. Knights Templar. Okay. And so I've been reading a lot into that, the esoteric issues surrounding this. Yeah. Oh God, Jesus movies. Remember the one that Lynn Packer was talking about that's never been produced? That is one very common denominator in all of these people. Even Nancy Payne, remember that last name? James, Nancy James, Mike James, the filming, I don't know. The movie, there was another movie called actually the other day, where was it? Tim Ballard showed footage of some alleged victims. And that guy looks so familiar. Like I saw him on a flyer or in a photo with Rod Meldrum, Nancy. Who else was in it? Mike. And they took pictures with these 3 guys, and they were Native American. And I was like, that guy looks really familiar. I got to compare and contrast those pictures and just to check, because I'm like, wow, how, how'd y'all meet? How you over here doing this movie thing? But anyway, so there's a lot of movie filmmaking. Look at Jason Mao with the whole, okay, the whole zombie movie. Mm-mm. And I'm telling you, I start to think about all the things, and then I'm like, oh my God, well, that one too, and this one too, and this one too, and so that's something they all have in common. And there was that Jesus movie that Gordon Bowen allegedly did, and actually there were some. It's alleged that there were some general authorities that went to go view the movie, and it was so horrible that they didn't even turn it over to Bonneville Communications, which was later bought by Frank Vandersloot, by the way, which then transitioned into EastIdahoNews.com and 4 other stations. Anyways, for what it's worth, woo, blows my mind. No, not yet, but I will. No. What kind? Would you like the one like they have on Jesus? Would you like me to just make one of Jesus here? I'll show you what I do have. Not him. I gotta put this up for my thumbnail. Isn't that cute? Anyways, y'all know me. I like to have fun. There's that one. And let's see. Oh, this one. I was having to tweak it a little bit. You see, all the work we do, right? All this work. Work. This is what it really is. Eyes wide shut. In my opinion. There we go. That's how about that for a brand? No. Anyways. Oh, I did make them into this statue right here. This little Satan one. Hold on. I gotta find it. I might not have downloaded it. Oh, my best friend sent me this today, if it'll ever come through. This was me and Tyler, her little boy. And I'm like, oh my God, look how little we were. If it will focus. Today. I can tell through the blur that I'm skinny. I'm like, oh my God. I miss being a little smaller. I miss being smaller. Okay, it's not coming through. None of these are. See where I've been. I have been doing some searching. You can't really see it though, because it's slow. Okay, let me get back to, I already am. Okay, my bad. I was sitting here on this screen. I will make a picture of Tim in a toga. Tampon Tim. Remember? Anyways. I think I wanted to say the oath, but I wasn't sure. Yeah. And yeah. Hold on. I'm going to go look for it real quick in my Google Photos. It might not be. It might be something else. It's another one of those kind of movies as war heroes, because they had like one of those shields. Let's see. I accidentally snapped myself back over here. Hold on. Hold on, I'll switch it over to it. And you know how it doubles them? I'm sorry. It just does. Remember this guy? Oh, crap. I'm just saying. I was like, oh, country done came to town. Right. Let's see. Oh, another thing I've been doing is going over Bruce McConkie's Mormon doctrine and just all the things that I remember that I recall, like the calling election made sure, all of the things. I mean, they corroborate the whole story that was told by this one. Okay, straight up. I mean, there's another. That's from that presentation I was telling you about on Ex Mormon Foundation. Lying became such an integral practice with the Latter-day Saints. Church leaders instructed members how to lie about polygamy according to the testimony of members given under oath. Oh, okay. I'm at the bottom. There's the oath, but I don't think that's it. There's got to be something else. I'll have to figure it out, and I will bring it back to y'all because yeah. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that's always lovely. I mean, that's good. Yeah. Caring means sharing. Right? Peacekeepers. Anyways, damn, it's bothering me though, because I can't think of the name. Does it start with an R maybe? Anyways. Oh, and Chad Daybell. I remember finding that, like hunting down that director. And I had, I've shared on here before he did an interview with somebody, another channel creator, and he was supposed to meet with, or he did meet with Chad Daybell during the time of all these murders and everything about an idea for his book. Was that part of the ploy? Was that the appealing carrot? Like, hey, we'll hook you up with some little movie director over here. Nobody wants to turn Chad's books into a freaking movie. No, really, word wise, would you turn any of Chad Daybell's books into a movie besides the ones that have already been made? I'm just picking. Holy crap. Can you imagine? That dude, his books are not good. Chad, we hate your books. Still, it's 2024. We hate your books. It's Purge month. Just don't forget. Right? I did make this Purge season. Okay? Tell your friends. Tell your friends. I also brought this one up to you. This was in the Troy Rawlings initial. I suck at this, but this had initially came out like in 2020, and it says, "Oh, you are committed." This is Troy Rawlings, the prosecuting attorney in Davis County. This is his allegation that OUR committed a crime by failing to disclose to donors its use of a remote viewing specialist. What's remote viewing, you ask? Well, it is a phenomenon, allegedly, that the CIA has, looked at from time to time a lot. And it seems to be what Tom Harrison's book is all about. So that's interesting, right? I know. It's kind of hidden in those words, all those weird apocalyptic words that Chad Daybell writes apocalyptic, Julie Rowe apocalyptic, Tim Ballard, I don't even know, does he? Is it apocalyptic? It's Mormonism, so I'm sure. But I don't know, so I can't loop him into this. But it's a way to communicate, in my opinion. Keep your powder dry and awaken, arise, and be a good storyteller. And what are the other ones? Constitution's hanging by a thread. All the things that they say suck. All right. I love you guys. I do. I miss you. I don't even want to let you go. See, I'm dragging my ass right now. Like, I don't want to get off of here. But I'll see you guys. I'll schedule. Today is now Monday. Wednesday? Do you want to do Wednesday or tomorrow? Google it. It is crazy. Just it. Google it if you're okay with the idea of somebody with voyeurism without your knowledge. Okay. Okay. I don't know whether it's true or not. I don't know. I'm just here trying to figure this out. But the way the story came out on Blaze Media about Janet Russin, and in the whole article that was, I mean, just dedicated to Janet Russin, there was a link and, a little paragraph about remote viewing and the CIA's study about it, yada, yada, yada. And they attached, a link to it. And I clicked it. And I was like, I'm one of those people that I can see thumbnails and read titles. And it's like, I can imagine what all that's about, on a lot of things, I have a big imagination. And so I never was comfortable with that idea because that is freaky if you think about it. But I've read excerpts out of Tom Harrison's Visions of Glory book, which is, Lori loves the book for sure. She even ordered it for her new jail in Arizona. She brought her a copy along with some other witch books. She actually ordered some witchcraft books and some other weird shit. And pony. Oh, she actually has like rubber wedding rings or whatever. Anyways, but that seems to be what's going on. Whether that's true, I'm just saying, when I saw that comment or that accusation had been made by the prosecuting attorney, who I don't suspect wears a tinfoil hat. I'm just saying, I don't either. I'm just like trying to figure out what all this is with the information that is available to me. And birds of a feather flock together. So is Tom Harrison. I mean, he was this is what I remember hearing from way back in the beginning of the case, is that Chad and Julie Rowe, Chad Daybell and Julie Rowe were meeting with Tom Harrison, who was teaching them how to portal. Portal means remote view. Remote view means to portal. So they're having these experiences from my research. And this one guy explains it. He says his body goes down. Who else's body went down in her explanation at her allocution statement? Do y'all remember that? I was like, that's what they're doing. They're experimenting with this astral travel yoga. I mean, Lori was a yoga lady, April Raymond, she taught, she teaches yoga. And I mean, what were found, in Lori and Chad's possession, yoga mats, no kids, just yoga mats. So, I mean, they were becoming one, at one-ment or atonement. I know, huh? No, hey, no, you're excused here because it's crazy. I know, it's so crazy. It's nuts. Well, anyway, so yeah, like Huggy Bear says that they read the Blaze article, read it today. I mean, again, you just have to what they do. So I'm imagining Janet Russin going and being paid by OUR, mind you, being paid by OUR. Plus, her and Catherine have had children, need families. Okay, the whole adoption thing, and so and you listen to Janet Russin's actual readings, okay, and you hear her explaining these things, or you read, transcripts of her explaining the location of Gardy Marty's whatever, and so she is remote viewing, allegedly. That's what this is. She's not just calling up spirits and angels and shit. That is just a bunch of gibberish to freaking throw us off. I do believe. Okay. I mean, I've caught that too in Tom Harrison's book. It's like there's a class and a class and a class. There's like different classes, kind of like angel hierarchies. Think of it like that. But there's different groups of people. Lori and Chad's group were over healing. Remember healing? The color green, Raphael. It all goes into this whole rainbow idea that they're working. I mean, it all, and the vibrations, it all, okay. Plus the whole James and Elena came to be because of the proxy sealing that they did in the temple. They did that in the temple. As much as Melanie Gibb has tried to protect the church, because we know that there's proof of that. Between her text messages, between her and Rob Wood, allegedly, all the text messages that I wish would have came out about Dateline and Keith Morrison, and he'll protect the church, and they're all about protecting the fucking church, but nobody is about protecting Charles, Tylee, Tammy, JJ, or Joe. Nobody. So it's just, it baffles me how people put a material place, a thing, above human life. And not just any human life, but my family members' human life. My mom was also marked. You know, it drives me insane. It really does. It pisses me off a great deal too. Because these people don't care. They've had time, lots and lots of time, and nothing. Silence is deafening, in my opinion. Portaloo. I know we've spent so much. I am guilty of this myself. There's one night I was trying to read the zombie email, or the infamous Reddit email, and I mean, I was like, in a portal in her closet. I mean, oh my God, I was laughing so hard. My boys were sleeping, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna wake them up. It's a freaking hilarious because it's cuckoo. But if you put it in all those things into the context, and you kind of, corroborate your story, and like just kind of line all these things up, they check, check. And it's freaking bizarre. It's even more bizarre. But, I really am of the opinion that whenever you first begin a case or a missing person, from my experience, a lot of the original details are actually what it is. They really are. You go back to the source, or to the very beginning, and there's all your answers. You just have to kind of, so a lot of times in my case, I've had to change my perspective a lot. And I'm just like, I had to really open my mind up and just say, yeah, that don't happen. And then I'm like, well, that very well could have happened. I don't have to do as many mental gymnastics whenever I just open my mind a little bit. I'm like, well, I mean, I'm not saying I don't know if that can happen. I don't know if people can remote view. Whatever, I can also see the government letter agency saying, oh, no, we don't do psychics. Well, we do, but you don't. It makes me think of Detective Hart being questioned by John Pryor about Alison Dubois, and I'm just like, oh shit, oh my God. Did he? Do they use psychics? It really goes, it just makes me question everything, which I think is a-okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with questioning things. It's whenever people try to silence you when you're questioning things, or character assassinate you, or send you trolls, or, people. And I'm just like, no, go after the traffickers, don't come over here because I'm questioning tactics and ruses, all these alleged tactics that suck. They really are. And it's been really entertaining to watch him try to justify them. I'm just throwing that out there. Thank you for the content, for the laughs. And it's disgusting. So anyways, all right, I'm gonna leave on that note. And I bet Tom was administering. Yeah. It says it on his LinkedIn, Gestalt or something. he has a whole rundown of, I'll have to bring that too. I'll bring that. Yeah, don't hate the victim. Yeah. I mean, if he did them wrong, okay, it's pretty detailed. I'm just saying, don't get out of it on a technicality. That doesn't, to me, that doesn't rectify the situation. Just because you got, if it's a technicality, I'm just like, okay, that sucks. Anyways, I don't know. Do it because you did the right thing and you stand by it, because your integrity and everything that you believe in and claim to believe in, portray yourself to believe in. You pretend to be this person, show it in your actions. And that is one thing that every one of these people in this godforsaken circle lack. Their actions never meet what's coming out of their mouths. It never does. Anyways, good night, y'all. I love you guys. I will, I guess, see you. I just want to see when Megan, if she doesn't go live on Tuesdays, then I'll do a live tomorrow. Well, on Tuesday, I'm sorry. And then, I just have to kind of see. So I'll see you guys for some Ken Krogue and some whiteboard meeting next time. Bye. Love you guys. Love always wins. Justice for Tyler, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe.